Continue to follow some breaking news. A protest is underway outside the ICE processing center in Broadview. Let's check in with our Joni Lum for an update.
Good morning. That protest was scheduled to end at this hour, but it's still going strong here in Broadview. Just a few minutes ago, the police had to move in to remove some things. Rachel Cohen with us right now. You had some of the protesters were setting up tents that were purchased, and then the police moved in. Can you describe what happened there?
Absolutely. Earlier this morning, a number of protesters who are, as you can see, are still present, successfully had an ICE vehicle turn around as it was entering that parking lot. Typically, ICE moves people from this facility between the hours of 7 and 9 in the morning every Friday. When we arrived, we heard from news media that was already on scene that people had been moved instead in the wee hours of the morning, 4:30, 4:45 a.m. What that tells us, particularly in connection with ICE vehicles turning around as opposed to moving protesters, is that ICE is afraid. ICE is attempting to terrorize my neighbors, and yet all it takes to terrorize them right back is us showing up and sitting down. We brought tents because we're ready to be here. We're ready to stand up for our neighbors. The tents scared them too. They were taken away. I don't know what to do with that other than to say that a couple of concerned citizens, a couple of people using their privilege is all it takes to stop this absolute disaster, this absolute brutality. And we're ready to be here.
The impending ICE agent activity that we're expecting. So this morning, I did see some vans, transport vans, leave the facility. I don't know if anyone is in them. And then the protesters who are here seated right now were able to stop what appeared to be an ICE agent or someone coming to work.
Exactly. Appears to be someone coming into the facility. There were a number of police vehicles lined up, ready to arrest the people who are sitting here, who include congressional candidate Kat Abu, as well as a number of clergy members. And I think that when they realized what that would look like, listen, the police don't want to be doing this anyway, and frankly, Broadview, you have the ability to pass sanctuary city legislation that makes it impossible for police to comply, to support what is happening in your community. There's a town council meeting on the 15th of September at 6:30 p.m. I suggest you show up if you live in the village of Broadview, because this is not a good use of your resources, even separately from the active terror that is being perpetrated in all of our names.
There are a lot of police here on the scene. Was there some friction when they moved in to remove those tents, or when they stepped in between that vehicle and the protesters?
I think that would be fair to say, yes. I don't really think the police want to be doing this work either, but it's difficult to say that given that they are in fact doing this work. There are things that can be passed, and more importantly, whether you live in the village of Broadview, 7,900 people, or the greater Chicagoland area, I think what this shows is that a couple of concerned citizens coming together and expressing, not in my name. I am a student of history, I know where this goes, not in my name. That stops them.
The mayor of Broadview has informed our community that this facility will be operating 24/7. So even though it appears there were transport vans leaving this morning, do you expect more activity here?
Difficult to say. It seems that the village of Broadview certainly does, and I think their entire police department is here right now. So it's challenging to say just how long they can sustain that type of repressive, frankly fascist activity, and I would suggest they just stop.
It looks like you're in this for the long haul.
I think the community is in this for the long haul, right? I'm very willing to be public facing, because I'll also say this, as a white woman with a substantial platform on the internet, the power of voice early and drawing attention to things is important, but everyone has a platform, everyone has a community that they can turn out, and so it doesn't need to be me or the other organizers today that are in this for the long haul. All that saves us is community. There is no one coming to save you. I am not coming to save us. The other organizers are not coming to save us. We are here to save each other and ourselves in community. Chicago's always been a hotbed of community organizing, and I think that Donald Trump doesn't know what he's in for.
Rachel Cohen, thank you so much. So the protest here continues on. There were more people earlier. It seems like there are fewer people, but they are here to stay for a while. It hasn't ended. They were going to set up some tents and stay for a while. The police took down those tents and took them away. Now we have the sit-in protest happening at the gate where vehicles would leave if they were going to be on the move. Reporting live in Broadview, I'm Joni Lum. Back to you.